Good morning, traders. Hope you're all doing very much well. Welcome to my trade recap on week 3. Thank you so much for getting into it. I would really appreciate your reviews within. If you have something to alert me about what I could have done better. Yeah, so I took about 4 trades, 2 losses and 2 wins. So right here on the first trade, I've got euro dollar. So price is positioned above this value area, and I was looking for price to be reaching the dead touch on this connection 1, 2, 3. So as I got into the lower time frame, I spotted the trade which I could have scaled in to be moving towards the dead touch. So let us get into it. So price is positioned above this value area, and I get into the H4. On the H4, I've got this bullish sentiment. So on the H4, we've got this bullish sentiment, and then I move on to the H1. But before I move on to the H1, here's how it came about. So I had seen that this high is taken out, and price could be correcting towards the bottom and building volume towards moving to take out this high and take out this high. So that's what I was looking for. As I move on to the H1, on H1 price is moving in a corrective movement. So as it moves into a corrective movement, I connected. This is a non-structured flag. So I moved on to the M15. As I move on to the M15, here is what we have. So as I move on to the M15, I got to realize that price now retraced from retesting the previous high. So price retests this previous high, and then it retraces, and I got into a reduced risk entry trade. And yeah, that was the first trade. This trade, I'm not so much proud about it. It's like a low quality trade, but let me know what you think about it. Let us get into the second trade. Second trade. Yeah, so we're gonna hide this one. So this is the second trade on euro dollar. So as we move on to the second trade, price took me out on the first one, and I saw an opportunity for a re-entry. So as price kept moving correctively, I connected these dots. So now I use the hook point. Now I was certain that price is now supported and gives an H1 retrace candle. So as you can see, we've got this retrace candle, and I took it after that, and I was quickly taken out for that one. However, I was still neutral about it. So let me know what you think about the trade, and I'll get into the dead trade. So as I get into the dead trade, which one is it? Dead trade. That's the dead trade. Okay, this is our dead trade. So I move on to the dead trade. As I move on to the dead trade, I extended my trend line. As I extend the trend line, now I'm no longer looking for a risk entry. Now I'm looking for a push and an insurance entry. So I got to acknowledge that price now it pushes back into the corrective movement, and then it trades an insurance entry right there. So as it trades an insurance entry, it's not quite the clean one, but however it is more of like what I was looking for, a push and insurance entry. And as you can see, we've got this support here, which is more of like a head and shoulder type of head and shoulder. Okay, with this trade I was able to get quite a good stop, and price was able to run for about 4%. Yeah, 4%, and I had just well, my entry, my stop loss was moved to break even once price was at 3%, and once it was at 4, I had then locked price on 1.5%. So within this whole 3 trades, I'm not proud about them. Low quality trades, they look like forced trades. So please let me know, and plus I'll be removing this kind of taken trade from my plan, because most of the times this is what happens. I get taken out, and then I take a risk entry, I get taken out. This dead trade, it was more of like luck, and I don't believe in luck and trading, so I need to be working on my trade setups. on taking the good quality trade setups. But however, this is part of trading. We learn within trading. Nothing will be perfect. There is no 100% mechanics. Giving you the true weekly of my recap, so I cannot cap about nothing because this is business, you know. However, let us get into the fourth trade. So I took 3 trades on euro dollar. Take your review and let me know if I was forcing trades or which trade did I force, which trade you would have taken. And yeah, well, this would have played well. The third trade would have played well because we have a push up and an insurance entry. That would have been nice if it had presented above this high here. That would have been more of a good setup. That trade is the one that I would say it's not a forced trade. Okay, let us get into the last trade, which was on AUD dollar. Now this is a nice trade which I took, high quality setup. So right now we are positioned in this current state. So on AUD USD, price is positioned above this value area, and as we can see, it rejected the area twice. So we move on to H4. As we move on to H4, this is what we have. As we move on to H4, price retests the high, the previous high, and gives a full retrace candle showing price retraces the previous high, and then it gives a full retrace showing signs on getting ready to ride the wave towards the top. So this is what we have. It retraces, so I joined the move within H1. The candle had not closed yet on H4, but the momentum was there that the bullish are in control as it retraces. So I had this structure of development within the trade. So it was this, and then this is what I had on AUD dollar. So on AUD dollar, I had an expanding structure which had an override. This is my override because when I convert this invert scale, as you can see, there is the 2 touch. So this is more of like an override. Why is it an override? Because it did not complete the third touch, so that's why it's an override. Yeah, so we have a retest, and then we have our 2 touch there, and then I had taken this on the second candlestick from the retrace candlestick. So second candlestick, I took the trade. This would have been nice if I had taken this on a buy limit, whereby I measure this for about 50%, but it looks like it wouldn't have triggered my entry. And if it would have triggered it, it would have been nice, and it would have made my stop reasonable, because right now it is way too wide. And yeah, but 29 pips I could afford it. So this was the trade on AUD USD. The lessons that I learned from these trades, I've got them on my Notion, so if I'm to lay them out here, it's going to take me it's gonna take me some time. So I'll see what I can do into the next coming recaps, because trade recaps, I feel like it needs more time in explaining, because this 10-minute thing, it isn't working at such into getting you guys to understand more, because there's more onto deep lessons which I got within the trades I took, and there's more I wanted to say, but because of the time I cannot give on the full information. But however, thank you so much for getting into my trade recap. I hope you guys have a good week upcoming, and always apply risk management. And also, the reason why I was able to be comfortable with my trade is because I was using a fixed risk of 0.25. However, I've used that for 2 weeks now, and now we're moving to 0.50. So yeah, let us have a good week, guys. Thanks.